guys, Shirley Price here, and today we are doing a live reaction, or I'm doing a live reaction, you're watching my live reaction, to One Piece chapter 857, Rock. Cover page request, Hancock can join the pool, Saitama Prefecture? When I first saw that, I thought that was Robin for a second. I was like, what? Alright, let's get into this. Da 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 da. Sweet City outskirts. Jinbei showed up? Yeah, I was totally surprised too. So Nami's safe then? I'm so relieved. But anyway, we've just got to think about how we can meet up with everyone. They'll all be stoked once they hear you're coming back. I can't believe I can't possibly look Nami in the eye after everything I've done. Nami and Co were more worried than anyone after all, and in spite of that, I caused them all terrible grief. Look at him just caring about his crew. Oh, the rain's letting up. It doesn't seem good. Mirror World. There they are. You think they'll be able to hear us, even though through these tiny mirror fragments? The last mirror we used to talk with you was broken while I was on top of the giant tree monster who called himself King Bomb, so hello, Choppa. There has to be at least a couple of pieces lying around that area. Hey, Luffy! Sweet City. Hey! Luffy, are you there? That's Chopper's voice. Hey! Found it! It's coming from this little piece of mirror. Luffy, can you hear me? Why is there a voice coming from the mirror? It's a long story, but all you need to know is that Chopper's inside the mirror with everyone else. Chopper, are you guys alright? Oh, Luffy, you're really there. I'm so glad. Luffy, do you have Sanji with you? Yep, he's right here. What about you? We were able to find and rescue everyone from inside the mirrors, Luffy. And what's more, Rook was actually able to get his hands on the copy of the Poneglyphs. Wow, really? You guys really are the best. Even if you praise me, it won't make me happy or anything, you bastard. You bastard. Yo, Dunder. Howard. So they're all choppering right now. That's what's happening. Luffy, it's great that Sanji's with you, but were you able to reach an understanding? Sanji's not coming back just yet. Huh? Starting now, we're gonna bust up Big Mom's tea party and wedding and save Sanji's family. And once we're done, Sanji'll come back with us. Luffy, we're talking about a Yonko here. The last thing I want is to endanger everyone. No, endanger Nami because of my own selfishness. That's why. Da da da. Yeah. Yeah, so they're just like, nope, he's coming back. What the hell's your problem? I heard you had a huge fight with Luffy. I was crazy worried, you dummy. I'm just so happy, you dummy. You sold him. So, as long as we do all that, Sanji will come back to the crew, right? Nami? Huh? Ah, and Sanji, regarding the matter of you throwing me down into the depths of fear itself. Oh, gosh. I'll never forgive you. I'm sorry. Oh, I dropped my camera. That was too much. I'll never forget. And her face though. Oh, I literally right through his heart. Oh gosh. But I suppose I can put it behind me for the time being. The tea party's just around the corner after all. So I'm gonna bring you back even if I have to drag you. Got it, Sanji? Could you be proposing to me, Nami? This all makes me feel oddly relieved. Who was that? I can't think of the character's name, but there was just like, or maybe I'm thinking about Duval, where it's just like, oh yeah, I know I'm handsome. Like, are you proposing to me? Well then, Luffy, we all know what we've got to do. Yep. And now that I think of it, Sanji's big sis saved my life. Ah, then we must save hers at all costs. But that's easier said than done. Even though we don't necessarily have to take out Big Mom herself, every time Mama has a tea party, she looks forward to it from the very bottom of her heart. To destroy all of that would mean to incite the full-blown wrath of one of the Yonko. And what's more, you all, it seems you've already been confronted by various ministers, but within the Big Mom Pirates, they are the tip of the iceberg. There will surely be many fierce warriors even them in attendance at the tea party, and not to mention the emperors of the underworld invited from various nations from across the sea. As for we, who are standing against them, there are merely 10 of us. Hey, don't you include us in this mess. Don't go fudging the numbers. There's merely 8 of you, not 10. And you can all go and get yourselves murdered as far as I'm concerned. Brulee's like, I'm not a part of this, people. Luffy, I already talked about this with everyone on this side, but forgive me for changing the subject. But there's something you need to hear. Do you know of Capone Bege? Yeah, he's the guy who made off with Sanji. Right. He's one of the worst generation, in other words, one of your contemporaries. In his native West Blue, there are 5 enormous mafias, which have the underworld of the entire sea under their control. The 5 great families of the West, and the 5 bosses of those mafias, one of them is none other than Gang Bege himself. The moniker Gang comes from the remnants of his younger days, and he was one of the crazy whippersnappers. He became infamous as a loose cannon, you see. This is interesting. I've heard that he's the sort of man who'd cut off animals' heads and laugh as he watched their writhing bodies. Shudder. That's beyond terrible. All I can think about is the horse head in the bed. That's like that scene just popped up in my head. And if you change animals to organizations, they met the very same fate at his hands. Even back in his younger days, he was already gunning for the heads of the bosses of the underworld. Even if they commanded an entire family, he'd go straight for the head of the boss who dared resist him, and no one else. But in spite of all that, he showed no interest in improving his stature or acquiring territory. He stole money and precious items, and nothing else. From then on, he sat back and watched the blood-soaked struggles for power. He merely laughed as he watched the powers that be in the underworld panic. Saying he's a man with a bad taste would be an understatement. However, in this world, it's eye for an eye. Before long, those who would seek revenge on him came for his head in droves. Come on, page, load. And yet, that was all fun and games for Bege. He had an ironclad fortress awaiting them and sent them packing with their tails between their legs, laughing all the while. And once he grew bored of his dominance of the land, he set out to the seas, but his methodologies didn't change. He quickly gained infamy by taking only the heads of renowned pirate captains, but leaving their crews intact. And why are you telling this all to us now, Jinbei? Even when he journeyed out to the sea, he was continuously chased by those seeking revenge. And to someone like that, there's no better hiding place than under the umbrella of a Yonko. So Bege became a subordinate of Big Mom. And now his sharpened wariness, in addition to his defensive power, have had their value acknowledged. And as of this tea party, he's finally earned the title of Rook, as a combatant in Big Mom's forces, and has been given full authority over the security detail of the event. Do not tell me this event is going inside Capone. Do not. Since he and his men will be on guard duty, that means there will be no one to get in his way. The main event of this tea party is the wedding ceremony. And as you know, Big Mom is planning on slaughtering every one of the Vinsmokes at the ceremony and obtaining all of the Germa for herself. But amidst all the festivities, Bege intends to take Big Mom's head then and there. What? I mean, I feel like I should have a bigger, but it made sense. As soon as you start talking about Bege going after people and slaughtering, taking off their heads, of course he's going to kill Big Mom. Of course that's his target. Of course. Obviously. Are you serious? This tea party is just steeped with conspiracy. Luffy, as for Pekoms, who guided you here, the truth is he was taken by Bege and his cohorts and was offered to become an accomplice with their schemes. Pekoms? So that's where he went. But Pekoms, who has a strong sense of duty, refused the order, and in order to ensure that he kept quiet, he was shot and dropped into the sea for the sharks to feed on him. Huh? However, lucky for him, he was found by one of my comrades and saved by a hair's breadth, and he's currently recuperating. So he's safe then. I'm glad to hear it. But I've had it up to here with these beige bastards. I'll never forgive him. Luffy, from here on out, is the meat of the conversation. I've heard everything about this plan from Pekoms himself, and I've done quite a bit of thinking on how you all should act from here. Once you heard the whole story, I knew that you would want to rescue Sanji and his entire family. I certainly feel bad for Pekoms, but it's not really time to make an enemy of Bege. What? What do you mean? The tea party will begin at 10 a.m. That's only about 5 hours away. Side part. I guess it's a tea party, so it makes sense, but I was like, that seems a little early to be eating wedding cake. I'm just saying. And I'm also saying this as it's like, what is it? It's 9:20 here, and after I do this video, I'm eating fajitas, so maybe I'm not the best to judge. Unlike the 10 of us who are starting now, are trying to make up a plan from scratch. I told you not to include us in your schemes. You fiends, I'll expose all of this. Just you wait. Bege and his crew have meticulously made preparations for this day. Oh, Luffy. Sanji, Luffy. Would you join forces with Bege? It's an understandable request. You might be onto something here. Whoa, Luffy, are you insane? Luffy, you haven't actually been taken in by Jinbei, have you? See, what did I tell you? Just what I thought he'd say. Luffy, we voted against it 4-2. I've actually already made the preparations for a meeting. Should we go see him? All right, let's meet him right away. Huh. Hold up. Okay, let me finish this before I... Calm down. If we don't like the sound of it, we can just turn him down. Our objectives are slightly different after all. Northwest Whole Cake Island, Fire Tank Pirates hideout. So did you off Bobbin? Indeed, I did. He was chasing after Blackleg, and, well, the Germa are my heroes after all. Okay. Do you really think those guys are coming, father? Jinbei isn't a man who'd joke around about something like this. It's only logical that neither of us would want to make ourselves more enemies, given that we're both planning on opposing Big Mom. The rest all depends on Straw Hat's attitude. If it does anything to piss me off, all we gotta do is take him out right here. Gang is gonna give Luffy an offer he can't refuse. With all Mafia style and everything. Chapter 857 end. Interesting. And I know we were all, so this is essentially what it is. It's Big Mom versus Gang, Vinsmoke, and Straw Hats. That's what we got right now. Okay. I like this. I like this dynamic. I am down for this. I think this is an interesting scenario because I hadn't really like made any definitions about like how this stuff was gonna go down, but I think it's really the way they talk about Capone, this is such a big hit, like to take out Big Mom, like when Whitebeard was taken out, you kind of had that whole like what's gonna happen sort of mentality, and you know, after the Payback War, Blackbeard sort of took up that spot. So it's interesting to think if they take out Big Mom, because I know Luffy's not interested in becoming a Yonko, but is his next step just automatically taking up that spot that essentially they're going to destroy. This is interesting. I am excited for next week. Oh my gosh! Yeah, I enjoyed this chapter. I love it. We got a full backstory on Capone that I think was, you know, very in depth, and we really got to see like the kind of person he is, and he's sadistic. And we finally know what happened with Pekoms. I think we kind of already like thought, like for the most part, like Jinbei's little shark thingy, one of his peoples is gonna save him. But I super enjoyed this chapter, and I may actually, since there was so much stuff, I may actually do a review for it to kind of get more in depth in it. But please let me know what you thought about this chapter. You know, like this video and subscribe for more One Piece content, because I come to you every week. There is a chapter to give you my live reaction. So I hope you guys enjoyed. All right, have a nice day. Bye.